All right, so today we have a clip here of a Newsmax host talking about the judge that is overseeing the Trump January 6th case being threatened and how that's just life in the fast lane. No, I am not misquoting what he said. Here it is.
The other latest...
Also, just fair warning, this guy says some pretty wild shit, so YouTube might be limiting this video.
Obsession of the fake news, anything remotely critical about Judge Chutkan. She is now a deity in America. She is the January 6th judge.
Yeah, a deity, really? We worship her now. Really? I didn't know that. Who? Show me. Really?
Presiding over the trial of Donald Trump. That should never happen. And
Clearly.
nothing should happen to her. But they need to lighten up quite a bit.
Really? Nothing should happen to her. That's a weird thing to say, man. That's a really fucking weird thing to say. That's not someone that I think isn't advocating for people to be threatened, would say. I wouldn't say that if I wasn't advocating for someone to get hurt. I honestly wouldn't. That's such a weird thing to say. Nothing should happen to her? Really? Is that what you think? Because I don't feel like you need to say that part out loud if that's really what you think. I feel like that is something that most human beings, wouldn't, need to say out loud.
That should never happen. And nothing should happen to her.
And nothing should happen to her. Nothing should happen to her, yeah.
But they need to lighten up quite a bit. Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
There's breaking news we're following right now. A Texas woman has been charged with threatening in a voicemail to kill the federal judge overseeing the criminal case against former President Donald Trump over his attempts to try to overturn the 2020 presidential election.
All right, panel after panel, breaking news. Oh, my goodness gracious, a voicemail. Now, that's very unfortunate, but it's also life in the fast lane.
Bro, you didn't even play the fucking... That was just Wolf Blitzer introducing the segment. You didn't even show what the fucking voicemail was. That was nothing. You didn't even play anything that you could remotely criticize there. That would be like me playing a clip of Jesse Waters saying, all right, here's today's top stories, and then me pausing and saying, Jesse Waters is such a piece of shit for that. What a fucking piece of shit. Dude, that was just Wolf Blitzer just literally saying that someone got arrested for threatening Trump. He literally just stated fact that you didn't even show what was in the voicemail. Unluckily, I don't know if that's a word, for Greg Kelly, I don't think that's a word. We have what the voicemail, some of what the voicemail said from an ABC7 Texas news station here. Quote, unquote, from the official voicemail that this woman was smart enough to leave to a federal district court judge. Hey, you stupid slave N-word, you are in our sights. We want to kill you. And Newsmax and Greg Kelly, the host, they conveniently left that part out. They conveniently left out literally all of the words contained within the voicemail, for obvious reasons. It's Newsmax. They're more of a clown show than Fox News, which is extremely hard to do, I feel like, but they have succeeded. They have succeeded time and time again, and also threatening a judge can get you anywhere from the first time doing it, a year in jail, to all the way up to 10 years, and that's on the light side, depending on, it varies, depending on, I guess, the circumstances. But, threatening a judge is it's a pretty serious crime, and it carries some pretty severe punishments, as it should.
It happens. Interestingly, the fake news, they did not pick up the very real threat against Barron Trump.
He says the fake news did not pick up the very real threat against Barron Trump. Really? Because it's on Insider here.
Barron Trump received death threats from an Illinois woman, prosecutors say, but that is... You got to look around. You got to hunt and peck for that story.
No, you don't. It's on Insider, you fucking asshole. This Insider's huge. I read Insider articles literally every single day. Also, obviously, I don't agree with anyone being threatened with violence, obviously, or whatever. But, what kind of public office or what is Barron Trump doing right now? Again, I don't agree with him being threatened. I don't think that anyone should be being threatened like that. But what is Barron Trump doing? Okay, the judge who is overseeing the January 6th case, Tanya Chutkan, she's overseeing one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cases in American history. Really, she is. And I know some people might disagree with that. But, what is Barron Trump doing where he's in the public eye right now? What is he doing where people would be, like Greg Kelly, talking about him? He's not doing anything. So shut the fuck up. Again, I don't agree with Barron Trump being threatened, but it doesn't matter. It really... not that it doesn't matter, but it's not relevant to this fucking story at all. You're not making a case for why this is not a bad thing. If anything, you're making a case against your own argument, you fucking idiot.
Very, very discreet.
Very discreet on Insider. It's on Insider, dog. It's not discreet. They are a huge publication.
Famous people tend to get threats. It's one of the reasons back when we had phone books.
So is it okay if someone threatens you? I'm so confused here. You guys know that if the story was flipped and it was a Republican politician that got a threat from a Democrat, they would be jumping all over this, right? The reaction would be a complete 180. We already know that.
Couldn't look up Dustin Hoffman's phone number in the phone book because weirdos would call him up and, threaten him. Johnny Carson.
Guys, celebrities get threatened all the time, so it's okay. It's totally cool. Look, celebrities like Johnny Carson and Dustin Hoffman, they've gotten threatened so many times. They would get threats all of the time, so it's all good, guys. It's okay.
Who didn't like Johnny Carson? The king of late night, really.
Most people that are born in my generation who know nothing about Johnny Carson probably don't like Johnny Carson because they don't know who he is. That was... you can really tell who Newsmax's audience is, I guess. At least they know who their audience is. Old fuckers.
Funny guy, very good at that show. Did you know that the FBI...
Funny guy, really good at that show.
had a huge stack of threats that people sent or phoned in to Johnny Carson.
You're just making a case against your own argument. What is this? This guy started talking about... Judge Tanya Chutkan, who's overseeing the January 6th Donald Trump case, and now he's ranting about Johnny Carson. What are you talking about? What's going on here? And again, you saying that these celebrities received all these death threats, that just makes... it's just making me not think that what you said at the beginning of this being life in the fast lane, that doesn't... It just makes it worse. It makes what you said worse.
Look at this play. Look at this stuff. Johnny Carson was a barrel of laughs on TV, but fear stalked him off the set with wacko after wacko, threatening to murder the king of late night, FBI documents reveal.
Is this all it takes? Excuse me, my computer's screaming at me. Is this all it takes to be a Newsmax, to be network like Newsmax? This is all them just reading other people's shit that they reported on. This is them reading a New York Post article from 2005. This is what I do on my channel. I read news. I react to clips of news channels. This is a big news network that has multiple different contracts with big cable providers. What is this coverage? They're just reading other people's shit. All of this segment has just been them reading or reacting to other news. Do they do any of their own reporting? I'm just curious. I really am. I know it's completely random tangent that I'm going on here. I'm really curious. Do they do their own reporting? Do they report on their own stories? Or is it just all reading New York Post articles, which again is owned by Rupert Murdoch, but they'll criticize Fox News, but New York Post article, that's A-okay.
Johnny Carson? All right. Carson was dogged by a terrifying series of letters that told him he'd be shot, blown up, or otherwise assassinated.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. That's all you're showing me is just some really fucked up shit. How is this a case against, or a case for threats against an elected official or someone that's famous or whoever? How is this a case for it being something you brush under the rug? I'm really, really, really curious now about what goes through the producers' minds at Newsmax.
A 615-page file the FBI kept on the dozens of threats against Carson from the 1970s and 1980s. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just really fucked up. That's really scary. A 615-page file on one of the most famous people in the entire world. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. I don't see how this information is relevant to anything regarding Donald Trump or Judge Chutkan. What are you talking about? What does this have to do with anything? Johnny Carson got threatened when he was on late night, so it's okay for the judge in the Trump case to be threatened? Question mark. Make it make sense, please, because you didn't make it make sense. You just made it seem like what you said at the beginning is completely fucking batshit insane.
So
which
Judge
it is.
Chutkan, sorry, we don't want anything. Nobody wants anything to happen to you. But
That's just why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep saying that? He keeps saying we don't want anything to happen to you, but what's the but? What I don't understand why you even need to say we don't want anything to happen to you. That is really, really strange. It's just I don't understand how that's not taken as the complete opposite. We don't want anything to happen to you, really?
sorry, we don't want anything. Nobody wants anything to happen to you. But when you're on television, especially in a controversial thing, you may get a couple of weirdos calling you up on the phone. You got marshals protecting you in that.
Again, she's a federal district court judge. What does this have to do with television? What the fuck is this guy talking about? This guy is crazy. Off the deep end, 100%.
It's good. We want safety, but you guys are dramatizing this because you want to.
You didn't even play. They didn't cover one goddamn time anything that was said in the voicemail. They didn't show any of it. They didn't read any of it. They didn't throw any of it up on the screen. You guys did not even read the voicemail. You didn't read any of the voicemail. This is the worst news coverage I have ever seen, taking away all of the conservative propaganda. Objectively, this is terrible news coverage. This shit is suck. This shit sucks, okay? I have certain words I'm not allowed to say on YouTube because I'll get in trouble.
Score points against MAGA, and you make it like we're a threat to democracy and all that stuff, all right? We know what you're doing here. I'm really lost on the fact that they could not or did not one time throw up again or cover or say or literally do anything about what was actually contained within the threatening voicemail. They didn't show any of it. They didn't say anything about it. I say this with a lot of the videos I react to. I don't know how people can sit there and watch this stuff. I really don't. I don't know how people sit there and go and they flip to Newsmax. There are local businesses in my area that I have been into multiple times, okay, that show Newsmax. And, people sit there and watch it. Their employees will sit there and watch it if they have downtime. I do not understand. I really, for the life of me, cannot fathom being able to sit here at any point in my life and watch something like Greg Kelly here on Newsmax talk about how it's okay or it's just something you should sweep under the rug. Very, very, very serious threat that pretty much sounded like you were threatening to kill them. We should just sweep that under the rug. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Again, it's like I said earlier. If the story was reversed, if it was a Republican being threatened by someone that was considered, like they said that they were a Democrat or whatever, for whatever reason, then the story, their reaction would be completely flipped, and they would be freaking out and saying that they need to be locked up and that, America needs to be locking up the criminals, this and that, and the other. That's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.